What's going on, YouTube? This is Boom and Zoom in the morning. This is Boom.
And it's Zoom.
What's going on, man? How you been doing?
Doing all right. Same old, same old. Nothing's really changed since last week. Still trying to figure out Spotify, so sorry if you listen on Spotify.
Sorry, Spotty.
Yeah. But yeah, I've still been playing Cold War. Sadly enough, I've still been playing that game, grinding the diamond camos and dealing with the frustrations of SBMM, but nothing's changed. You know, I talk a lot of crap, and yet here I am still playing the game, you know?
Hey, it's not a bad game from what I hear, and the stuff coming up, it looks like it's promising. You know, I like the little trailer that they brought recently.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, for sure.
promising things coming from Call of Duty. We'll see when it drops how it really pans out, but it's looking good. Looking good so far. I've been stuck in the Shadowlands.
I've seen, yep.
Yeah, now Ross is just at max level. We've been doing the raids. It's been a ton of fun. Roy tweeted out the other day that he's been having the most fun that he's had, you know, playing a game, and that he didn't expect to have this much fun playing
Yeah, I saw that.
Shadowlands.
That's good.
That's pretty exciting for me, you know, like as me getting all my friends into the game and playing the game, you know, that's super cool to know that like someone's actually really enjoying the game, because we've played it before and it wasn't that good, and then we tried to play like classic before and it didn't go too well. So like I'm happy that it's like really playing out and everything's good, because honestly I'm having the most fun that I've ever actually had playing the game.
Damn.
To be honest.
Well, that's
But what have you been playing, man?
good. Okay, well, aside from Cold War,
Let's hear it.
Yep, the big topic here, or one of them.
Oh no.
I played a little bit of Cyberpunk.
Oh no.
A little bit
Oh.
of Cyberpunk.
Oh no. Oh no. How was that? Give me your opinion. You've played it, right?
Yes.
All right, let's hear a little bit from your opinion. I'd love to hear it.
Okay, so aside from maybe just the game performance, which my computer might not be at the highest level to run like at like, you know, the highest. So aside from that, I didn't see any like really game breaking bugs. I mean, the story seemed interesting so far. The combat is definitely interesting. So I mean, this kind of goes back to what I was saying. I'm just not that interested in playing single player games. Not even this game that I was hyped for. Like you talked about it last episode, how the hype kind of died down, and that kind of
Yeah.
happened for me. Like I was really hyped, and I played it, and I was like, it's great, but I'm not really into single players anymore, I guess. Like, this was the nail in the coffin for me. Like, yeah, single players, no, they don't cut it for me anymore.
Yeah, like I feel like that was it for a lot of people. Like this seemed like the be all end all.
Yes.
Like maybe the Grand Theft Auto killer, you know. You know, maybe, you know, Watch Dogs came out and did this a long time ago, and they were like hyping everything up. It looked like this futuristic, crazy looking like spy game, crazy like Grand Theft Auto like stuff. And then it comes out and it's like, okay, you can hack this and hack that, and there's a lot of glitches, and then it just fell off. Then Watch Dogs 2 came out, meh, but then the new one, it looks like they switched some things up, and that looked promising. So maybe they learned, maybe Cyberpunk down the road gets a little better, but like these reviews, I'm seeing 10 out of 10s like from
Yeah.
everyone, but then you read the review and it's like game is completely buggy, does not work on current gen systems. Like how does a game get a 10 out of 10? It doesn't work.
I think
What?
that might just be like the story and the depth in it. I don't think it's necessarily the.
Oh, I've seen this, and like
Oh, yeah?
I thought maybe this is a current gen thing. So like I looked online, you know me, I'm always on the Twitter, always like searching through Reddit, searching to see like, you know, I just like to know a lot of things, and just I don't know, maybe I got a lot of time on my hands when I'm bored. So I always am searching through, and I found so many clips from people. Watched some people's like streams in the lower end of the Cyberpunk thing that were
Yeah.
doing it, and like their streams were terrible, and like you could
Dang.
see how bad it was. I saw one person playing on base Xbox, and it was so bad. Like
Yeah.
he went down the hill, and like everything looked like clay animation, like nothing was formed, no windows or anything, and he turned down the street, and like the people's faces weren't rendering in, and the people were like glitching all over the place.
Yep.
And it's like, then you look back at the trailer that they released for E3 like a couple years ago, and it's like
It's
wow,
popping.
this is like
Yeah.
absolutely looking amazing, and then you're playing it and you're like, wait a minute, what what's happening here? Like, this isn't what I paid for. And like that's unfortunate
Yeah.
because like I heard Steam was denying tons of people's refunds.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like GameStop, I think GameStops are disappearing like overnight everywhere. Like we lost a couple here. I heard a couple are going bankrupt. So like if you bought it at GameStop and you
You're
never
done
know,
for.
next morning that place is
Yeah.
gone, dude. But like I don't know,
Screwed.
it's wild. Like how CD Projekt Red is known for an absolutely breathtaking game.
Mm-hmm.
And now we think we're gonna get that again. And what do we get? Some underready. This is not even ready. It's just like a shamble. It's terrible. I don't even know. But like from what you're saying, it's not that bad.
Yeah, well, like I said, I only played not like I'd say like at least an hour, so I'm not into like I saw Shroud playing a little bit and he like got crashes, but that
Oh,
was like
yeah.
he got it early release, which I don't think really matters anyways. I think unless they like did patches when the game released, and I saw him like having to deal with the crashes, having to restart a mission. But obviously, I only played an hour, so really none of that, all the bugs, they just really aren't there for me. So I can't really.
Yeah, you're maybe
say-
not up to it yet. Like
Yeah.
maybe the beginning of this patch. I heard like on day one they had a huge gig download, and like for a patch, which is good.
Mhm.
And then like I heard recently there's been another patch to sort of fix some things. I don't know how that's went, but uh, it's just crazy. Like this is almost something I would expect from Halo if Halo just released when it did.
Mhm.
Something like unfinished like that. And thank God it didn't. So like I don't know, I'm kind of just surprised that like with all these delays we got such an unfinished product.
Yeah, but do you think
Like-
maybe they were just like, or, well, I mean, how long have they delayed this game?
All right. So after it being delayed 3 times, you would think that the game would be ready. I mean, the game had
Right.
been delayed back from April to September, then from September into November, and then November into December. So did they know that this was a problem and that's what they were trying to fix the whole time? Or were they waiting for the next gen to come out so that they would at least have something that works? Is like not where I'm at.
I think they were waiting for next gen for sure because it was supposed to release. You said April
April
Right,
16th.
16th of 2020.
I think that would be from April 16th, 2020 to September 17th. So, I mean, 5 months?
Well, I can only see. I mean, this game's been in works for a long time, even before the new
Oh, yeah.
gens.
Where I was
were-
reading, it's been in work since 2008.
Yeah, so I can only assume that they constantly had to like upgrade hardware to
With
keep
technology
up
going up, they kept
Yeah.
upgrading. I agree. But, like, back in April, there was no next gen system. What were they going to do? Release it and then release it and this happens? Like, did they know
think
that
they-
this was happening and then they were like, oh, at least we get next gen. We can be like, yo, play it on next gen. It's going to be chill. But, like,
with. Yeah. I think it was them just trying to get money. If they were really trying to, they were delaying it just to get it ready for next gen or not next gen, old gen consoles. So they
Yeah,
can
I
make that
mean,
extra buck.
because it's clearly something about money here. Because either you're delaying the game because you want it to be on the next gen systems and you want to get the most amount of money out of that, or
Mhm.
B, you're delaying it because it doesn't work on the current gen systems and you're hoping that newer technology comes out so that the game can run on something, because you had to know that that was going on leading up to it. Like someone had to have like a base Xbox or base
Yeah.
PlayStation played and was like, oh shit, man, this ain't gonna work. Like, no, you
Yeah.
can't tell me that everybody on the team's just playing this and trying this out on a 3090 with a 10900K computer. Like, like, come on, there had to be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of. I don't think they'll come out and say it.
Oh, I don't think they'd
But,
ever come out and say
yeah.
it, because I think that'd be even worse for the company. I think now they just bite the bullet. I mean, their stock drops so much, it's still not even. It's it's stocks go up and down, but it's still down at this moment.
Yeah.
And but you see, you had 10 out of 10 reviews everywhere. So like, Something
I
doesn't.
mean, they said they're gonna patch it and fix all the bugs, and I'm sure whenever that's done, it's gonna be a great game. But I feel like we're just in this like place in games where that's just normal. A game
Yeah,
releases with a bunch of bugs, unfinished, but they're like, hey, we'll give you free content and we'll fix it later, but just wait, and we're okay with it.
I feel like that is the norm now. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, even I'm playing Shadowlands now, and like this was delayed, and
Yep.
now it's a lot better. And this is a game that kind of like already gives more content as it goes. But I feel like with that aspect of this game, they've kind of mixed in the unfinished stuff that will release as well on the way, which is kind of working out in their favor. But I feel like every company is now going to have to do that. Call of Duty, they kind of came out and said, it's not all in there, but it's going to be in there. We just got to
Yeah.
keep pushing it.
And the bugs, they
Oh, yeah.
took them like what 3-4 weeks to fix them.
Yeah, see, like,
So
that's the difference between playing a game like Call of Duty and playing a game like World of Warcraft. I get a lot of shit from people that say, "Oh, well, World of Warcraft's $15 a month. Like, you're paying for the game, and then you're paying for
yeah,
$15 a month." But what people don't understand is there's so many servers, there's so many people playing this game, and when there's a bug in the game, there's a patch every Tuesday that adds brand new content to the game. Also, they patch every single bug that they found the week before. So
hmm
we're not waiting 3, 4 weeks for a bug or anything like that. So it always seems like there's like nothing wrong with the game. And also the cool thing is like they have like these guys that are GMs in each server that go around and they're like invisible to the world, but they'll be able to help people or pull people out of like glitches or hacks and stuff like that, which is great. Or like
right,
ban people that are cheating, which is
right.
like something that I feel like every game's gonna have to have or needs to have some sort of aspect of that.
I mean, moving forward, just
I'm,
like you said, it seems like games are going in this direction where it's like they're unfinished and we're all kind of okay with it.
yeah, I mean that is the
Not that
norm, but
not that we're okay with it, but like
yeah,
there's
I
really nothing we
mean
can do.
there's
Like,
nothing we can do. I understand it's a pandemic. I wonder like after the pandemic, like since we're so used to that norm, will it continue to happen? And the companies just use that as leverage on their end to like maybe not push as hard as they have to.
I mean, you look at games like let's just take Halo 5 and Modern Warfare, the 2019 release. Like those weren't the best either. They were missing tons of content. They were both really buggy, especially Modern Warfare. Like that game, the claymores were trash.
Hmm.
Oh, I don't even want to talk about that launch, but it's been happening pre-COVID.
Yeah, it
So,
definitely has.
and
It's
I'm sure companies could use this as not I don't want to say an excuse because it's a legit reason like that some of these games are buggy is because of COVID. Obviously, like working at home is way harder than working in house, especially on a game. So I'll give them a pass, but still, it's been happening before COVID.
yeah, it definitely has. That is very true. I mean, look at Halo.
Oh, you want to get into the big topic, the thick of it, the meat of it, huh?
I mean, I guess that's the real topic this week. On top
Yeah.
of this Cyberpunk misery release, we finally, with the Game Awards, have had a little clarification now of where they're going. Basically, I guess they basically tweeted out where they're going, or they're blogged out where they're going now with Halo that same night.
Yeah, so big news for Halo Infinite. They released a blog post December 8th, I believe, and everyone was really reading that blog post to know when Halo was coming out. And they didn't care about, you know, the nitpicks and stuff like that. They wanted to know when it was coming out. A lot of people speculated spring. Some people thought as far as fall, but nobody was really hoping for a fall because that's literally a whole other year.
Ugh.
A whole year delay instead of like a couple months. But guess what? They came out and said Halo Infinite 2021, fall 2021. Sorry. So that's a whole year from when the game was supposed to release. So,
So I feel
your
like we have a
thoughts?
lot to talk about here. There's like a lot that kind of stems now from this delay. Um,
Yep.
Microsoft, not having a big blockbuster game releasing for a whole year, a little more than a whole year on their brand new system.
Xbox has nothing right now
That's
in terms
huge.
of exclusive.
And
Yeah,
some people are
exclusive
gonna come out and
games.
be like, "Oh, well, you got Spider-Man." I mean, and but that's a Sony owned entity through and through. Like Sony still owns Spider-Man, even though he's in the Marvel and everything.
Hmm.
They still own all the rights to everything. So I mean, that is Sony's game, which is crazy. And Microsoft's sitting back there with nothing yet. Nothing
I
coming
mean,
out from that. They announced Perfect Dark, but like
right.
Halo, a whole another year, nothing on the
I mean,
system.
you think Microsoft, they bought all these like companies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's none of them have come out with like, hey, or Microsoft hasn't come out like, hey, let's try to get another exclusive title
Unless like
out
they
here.
got something like in the wraps, but like is that too late?
Well, they bought, didn't they? Well, not well. They acquired Bethesda Studios, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
and there's rumors that maybe Bethesda games are gonna be Microsoft exclusives now.
Nah,
So,
they did come out and say that they weren't gonna do that because
just
like it would
kidding.
ruin
I was
everything.
right. I was just joking. Haha.
Oh,
Not really. I thought the rumors were true. Well, I didn't think the rumors were true, but that's what the rumors were. But
yeah.
I'm glad
I
you
mean,
read up on it.
it'd be crazy. I mean, that'd be. I mean, if I was Microsoft, I don't think I would do it because like then you're kind of screwing all of the Sony people that have been with Bethesda through the years and everything like that.
Hmm.
And if you do that to them, it's not like they're gonna go buy a PlayStation or buy an Xbox. I mean, they're just not gonna play the game. They're gonna be
Yeah.
pissed off. The people that play the game religiously on PC, they'll have the game through Microsoft and everything. But it's not. I don't think it would be fair, and I don't think it would be the right move for Microsoft to do that. I think the right move would for be Bethesda to make a new IP for Microsoft, something new that could
Hmm.
be going forward their new gem, something that could carry the name of Microsoft Xbox through the years. I think that would be
Yeah.
awesome.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I agree. They wouldn't like be like exclusive to Xbox. I mean, it's all about money. They're not gonna like cut part of their cash flow with cutting PlayStation. So it was just a rumor. So I'm glad that you actually read up on it because I would have been telling people lies.
It's alright. But yeah, I mean, back to Halo. I mean, so do you think that this is gonna be like Halo 5, where we're gonna get like a totally new campaign? Like, do you think they'll rebrand it?
What do you mean you can?
Like,
Okay,
kind
so.
like like
Mhm.
at the E3 they showed one sort of
Oh, I
campaign
see. I
footage,
see. No, I
and
think
then
they learned. I think they learned.
you think they
For
learned?
sure.
I
I
mean,
think
that
they
boss at the
learned.
end, man, he wasn't looking.
Oh, Craig?
Yeah, dude,
That's what
I
people
don't
called
know,
him.
man.
Alright, yeah, one of the birds. I don't think they'll do that again. Um, we've seen so many. They've released so many articles, and even the gameplay that they released really shows what they've been saying all along. It's gonna be like open world. You have. It's like CE again, like big open maps that you can explore all you want. Blah 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 blah. This. So I don't think they're gonna make the same mistake. Uh, but I don't know if you read the blog post that they released with this news, but some I highlighted some of like the more important things that kind of stood out to me. Obviously, they had like a bunch of stuff, like a bunch of the creative devs there talking about the art. I don't know if you saw the pictures that they released of the armor and some of like the maps and like the campaign.
Yeah, I did see some of them.
The Yeah, like the weapons.
Some of the
Like they,
screenshots of some of the Spartans I
yeah,
saw.
dude, they look so clean.
They look really good.
They look
I
so
just hope they're
good.
not like processed after pictures and they're actually like game
Yeah.
footage pictures. Because like I feel like a lot of the time you get that, but like
Yeah.
overall the characters look good. I like what the new like armor skin design.
Yeah.
I don't know what to call it. Whatever they're calling it for the new like skins that you can put on the armors or whatever like
Hmm.
that. I think
Yeah.
they look good.
Dude,
Um,
the visors, you can see like reflections. Like it looks really good.
yeah.
It's not just like a color.
Yeah, I feel like that's something that's gonna be pretty cool too. Like, I wonder if you're gonna be seeing the reflection of like other Spartans in the helmets. Like, if you go in like the photo mode or like something like that, if you'll be able to
Yeah.
see it. That'd be cool.
Oh, that'd be
But like, I'm
dope.
excited. The game looks really good from like those photos. My problem is I don't want to get hyped about it because if I get hyped about it and then the game
Right.
comes out and I'm
Yeah.
seeing not what I saw in those photos, because that's similar that what happened with Cyberpunk. I mean, we're gonna be disappointed. And
Yeah.
you know,
Well, I
I feel
think
like if I keep the disappointment super low right now, like I'm
the.
gonna be so disappointed that the game's gonna suck.
Yeah.
I might be hyped when it actually comes out and it's like mediocre.
Well, it's good to lower your expectations. That way, if they do release a good game, you're like blown out of your mind, right?
Yeah,
Oh, this is the
exactly.
best Halo ever. But yeah, so basically, the article starts and ends with this guy named Joseph Satin. I think that's how you say his name. He's back. He was part of the team, the Bungie team that made Halo CE 2, 3, ODST, and Reach. So that's cool, I guess, to get someone that was part of the OG series back.
Yeah, that is
I think
really
it's a good
cool
thing
because then he has like his knowledge from the past games that he can bring into this again,
to the
which would be
game. Yeah.
good. So like everyone that loved the past games, maybe he knows maybe the little spice, the little thing that made those games really good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, but here's what I took from this article. The biggest thing,
Hmm.
and I was listening to some other people talk about it, and they thought about this as well. So he basically said that when he was brought on, he played the entire campaign twice. Okay, twice, not just once. He's rubbing it in our face twice. And the article says that it's exactly what 343 set out to do. You know, it's big, expansive, awesome. It's classic Halo. It's fun. And that just like, I just thought like, does that mean like the game's content is done? Like, if you think about it, the game was supposed to release this fall, right? With the launch of the Xbox. So that can only really mean that the content of the game is done. You know, like the campaign is done. You got multiplayer, right? Maybe you won't have the modes that everyone wants, right? But the content is there and it's ready for launch. And the real pushback was because of a lot of the criticism that they got from the July demo. You know, a lot of people saying, this looks like crap. This doesn't look like a next gen game. What is this? I don't know. Do you kind of agree with that, or what are your thoughts on that?
Um, mm, mm,
It's kind of tricky because they delayed it a whole year when it was supposed to release
that's the
like
thing. Like,
last
just it
month.
doesn't make sense. So, like, I think brought it up in the last podcast about the guy that plays Master Chief saying that like it's basically done and he's voiced it and everything. So, like, what
Yeah.
is going to take a whole year? Are we polishing for a whole year? Are you beta testing the campaign for a whole year? Like, what are you? What's taking a whole year? Unless you're building a battle royale, unless you're building something like
Oh, I
some.
didn't
If
think
the
about that.
campaign's
Yeah.
done, then what's taking a whole year? If people are rumoring, yo, we might get multiplayer beta release soon. Like, how if like the game's not gonna be released for a whole year?
It is a bit of a mess because I mean the multiplayer is going to be free to play, so that means people are going to have to pay for the campaign. So why not, if the campaign is done, why not release it? You know,
That's what I
at
don't
least
get.
we
I feel like
get
there's
something.
something that like something's not right, or
Yeah.
maybe they did redo part of the story, and now we'll have new marketing, and that's what they're now waiting on is to get new marketing out or something like that. Like
But
something doesn't seem right if you're
yeah.
saying the game is done on one end, but now we're not getting the game for a whole nother year.
Yeah, and I thought the delay was for the criticism from the July demo, right? And rightly so, I guess. I mean, most of the people agree that a lot of the people giving the criticism aren't even people who are Halo fans. They're just people on the outside looking to shit on like
What? There's like
Microsoft.
5 Halo fans left, like maybe 500.
I mean, I didn't care how the graphics looked. It's Halo. No one plays Halo for how it looks. They play for the story, for how the multiplayer feels, for ranked, the competitive aspect. So I never.
But I feel like that's you as a competitive, as a diehard Halo fan, and that's not gonna grow the Halo community. If you're trying to grow the
Right.
game and the Halo community, like you gotta bring something that the people that don't play the game, the people that don't look at the game, the people that don't sustain playing the game, what do they need? What do they want to thrive in? Because you guys are gonna play the game if it's dog shit or not. You guys have proven that for 5,000
Nah.
years, continuing to play the game for
We,
$5 a week.
you. This is with you too.
I
Sir.
mean, I gave up on that shit when you guys had a pity party in the backyard of a kid's,
Okay, you say we like I
backyard.
was.
I mean, that was a balloon fest in some kid's
Yeah.
backyard. Like, that was a fucking shit show, to be honest. But that's when I realized they don't care, so why the fuck should I care? Why don't I go play a game that they care about the people? Because then I'm gonna get the most out of it. And like, look at Fortnite. cares the most about everything. So you play the game, and each week there's a $500,000, $1 million tournament, $1,000 tournament here and there. Content creators get their own tournament. We got Halo over here. We got the massive triple series, triple A, double A tournament coming up for the Master Chief Collector Series. It's gonna be a whole $5 and a gum pack is gonna be the reward. I mean, that's why the game's dying. There's no money in the game. There's no money to give out. Why play the game when you can go build and crank a 90, get last place, and win $1,000?
Okay, you went way off the tangent on what I was originally saying, but I agree with you. I just don't know where this is going.
What do you
To
mean?
be honest. Well, because I said, like, I was talking about the graphics. You went off talking about competitive Fortnite and shit.
No, I'm just
kinda
saying
lost
overall, I mean,
Uh-huh.
why are you playing there's no reason to play the game if there's nothing there for the people that aren't playing the game. For you, it is something like playing the game because you don't care about graphics and you like the game for the story and everything like that. But for the people that aren't playing the game and what needs to happen for the community overall, like it has to bring something like graphics. It's going to need to bring something that has a competitive aspect for everybody. An open leaderboard tournament is something that I heard rumored that's going to be in the game, which is something good. But like, are you playing for skins in the game? Are you playing for like like credits for like Halo like armor or something in the game? Like that is cool stuff that I think would be really fun to play, like weekend tournaments for stuff like that. If you don't have the money or the prize pool to put behind it. But my whole point behind this was you said that like people want to see graphics and stuff like that, and that's something you don't need, but like there's something that everybody needs totally to come back to this game, and we all want this community to grow basically. But
Well,
go ahead.
no, you go. You finish up.
Now I totally lost my thought. It's all
Okay,
you.
sorry. Well, I was just gonna say, like, I didn't mean it like I don't care about the graphics per se, but they come out and said like the style of art they chose, like that was their decision. Like, if we're gonna go back to this kind of classic look, and to say that to people to sit on the outside and kind of critique it and be like, this looks like crap. Obviously, the game was not ready. That they've said that the July demo was like a early build or something like that. Which to begin with, I don't know why you would show like an early build and not show what you have. But that just goes back to like Call of Duty. You know, you take Call of Duty, right? Modern Warfare, to me, didn't look that great. Looked kind of grainy. People still played it, right? Warzone
Exactly.
looked kind of grainy. People still played it. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War looks a little more cartoonish than Modern Warfare. People still play it. People complain, right? But people still play it.
Exactly.
So I think it's just because it's like, just because it's like Halo, and it's kind of like okay to kind of critique it really bad and kind of make like nitpicks at Halo, because Call of Duty does it. I mean, look, like I just said, look at Modern Warfare, not that great looking. Black Ops looks cartoony. Halo Infinite looks kind of cartoony, but nobody really complaining about that in Call of Duty. But because it's Halo, oh, this is the worst thing. This is terrible. This looks ugly.
I think it's because with Call of Duty, it's Activision's game. With Halo, it's Microsoft's game. Like should be the crown jewel of what things should look like, the pinnacle of everything. Like this is like
Right.
the game played on Xbox. Like you buy Xbox, you can only play this on an Xbox system. It looks the best on Xbox, and it looks absolutely better than any other game because it's designed to play only on Xbox. And I feel like that's why people critique it, because you got a game that comes out and blows the graphics away, isn't designed by a main company. No, for instance, you got Spider-Man, made by PlayStation. The game's breathtakingly fucking beautiful. There's not a
Right.
game out that even plays similar in graphics or even
Cyberpunk.
comes close on the PlayStation, made by any
Oh,
company.
Right.
So I think that's where people get that feeling that they need to see something. Like, this should be the benchmark. Like, Halo needs to be the benchmark. And that's why it's getting such a bad rep, because it hasn't been that in how many years? Like Halo 3?
Right.
That was like the
Yeah.
benchmark?
it's just a bit of a mess. I mean, obviously everyone's gonna be divided regardless of how it looks. But if you look at that demo and then you look at the screenshots that were released with the blog post, completely different games.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Completely different games.
So,
That's what I was
like,
saying. Like,
that's...
why not
Go ahead.
showcase? Sorry, why not showcase what you have instead of an earlier build is beyond me. And I don't know who made that choice up at Microsoft or even at 343 to do that.
I don't know. I think that was the wrong choice, to be honest. And that also worries me because I think that those shots, now that we just saw recently in the blog, are like processed photos. Like, they're not in game. Like, we saw in game, you know, like, there's no hiding that that was an in game. If it was an early build or not, that was what it's going to look like in game. You might polish it a little more, but that's the game. So now you're showing screenshots that look completely different. So, like, that's the worrisome. But
Yeah, and you look at those screenshots, the game looks done, dude. Like
the game
there's-
looks totally
there's-
different. It's like that's on a 3090 maybe,
Yeah.
and what you showed before was on a base Xbox or something. Like, that's, and like, this is the shit that they keep doing, and companies keep doing this back and forth when they show their stuff at E3. Like, you show it on a 3090, but then somebody gets it, and you're not describing what you're playing it on, so the people are getting like a false idea of what they're gonna get.
I want to say it's a little different with Halo. I've never really
Yeah,
seen
because it hasn't
pictures
been
like
good
that.
in forever. It's looked like dog shit.
Okay, well that's obviously due to horror, but I'm saying like even like that's never really been a problem with Halo. Like they'll show screenshots of like the maps pre-release and they look exactly the same on release. And if you look at the screenshots they have for Halo Infinite on the maps look good. They look clean. They look done. Like what are we waiting for?
Maybe those
Like,
are just processing and they're not done and they're not made. That's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm like, I feel like those are what they want them to look like. That's like a process look of what it should look like, but they're not done.
I don't know. It's just a bit of a mess, to be honest. I mean, we'll never really know unless we work there.
Oh,
Or someone
100%
comes
we'll
out
never
and
know
spill
the
the
truth,
beans.
to be honest. But like, it's just like you said, it's a mess.
I mean, like especially like they have these ads, right? They're partnered with Monster. You can get double XP codes for Halo Infinite. You can get some cool skins or like emblems if you buy Butterfingers. But the game's not gonna release for another year. So like in their head, did they think, oh yeah, we're set to release this fall? But something happened. Something big must have happened for a whole year release. But as Joseph says in this blog post, the game is ready. Content is done. We're just like, kind of polishing up the game. But for a whole year?
Yeah.
It doesn't make, and it's actually really infuriating because it does not make sense. Be more clear. Like, why am I gonna go buy a monster can right now? Hold on to the XP code for a whole year. Like, why would I do that?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I feel like they had the marketing ready and then they didn't stop it.
Yeah, there you go. They just went with it. Like, let's hype it up. Like Fortnite, the Halo Infinite or the Master Chief skin in Fortnite. I feel like that was part of their marketing. But guess what? That's all the Halo content we have now is Master Chief and Fortnite. So
Yeah, exactly. And he looks good in Fortnite, and like I think
he
it's
does, yeah.
cool. I didn't go out and buy it though, and like I don't
Yeah.
think that's gonna bring more people to playing Halo, but it's a cool crossover.
yeah, I mean, you might be right. They might be working on a battle royale. They listened to the criticisms and they saw how big battle royales could help a game like Warzone, and they're like, let's delay it, which doesn't make sense because you could just be like, hey, here's a game. Next fall, a battle royale's coming. We would have been okay with it. Nobody would have been complaining. Nobody would have complained if that's the case, But that's if they're working on a battle royale. Obviously, again, we don't know. We're just kind of like getting fed these little crumbs, which is insane to me that we're getting fed such small crumbs when the game was supposed to release this year. Like, we were supposed to be playing this game right now, and we're getting fed breadcrumbs of information. So, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the weird thing too, is that like this game should have been out, and yet you have the littlest information about the game. Like, you've never even, like, you haven't been playing it, like, you haven't done it.
Right. Yeah. And then now, like, the Halo esports scene is kind of in, I don't even know. Like, earlier before we recorded, we were talking about Moses, and he tweeted out this tweet. He said, Halo esports is done until Halo Infinite. when you can't even deliver on the bare minimum, on the absolute bare minimum, it's time to pull the plug. I don't know how you people sleep at night knowing you've let thousands of people down. Hope that Microsoft paycheck is worth it. What do you think about that tweet?
I mean, he is the voice of Halo, like, through Twitter. I feel like for years, since I've competed throughout the years, I feel like he's always been around. So, like, I feel like his opinion and his judgment of where the game is going, I don't know if it's out of spite right now or what it is, but usually it's on point. Reese, this kind of seems kind of rash, but I haven't been following the Halo esports because I feel like it's not big and no one talks about it. Like, apparently there was this big tournament. I didn't even know anything was going on. Like, I didn't see anything, but like, that's how well they market their stuff and do stuff. But like, I know that this week, I don't play Fortnite, but there was a Frosty trio tournament. Like, that's a big difference. Like, I don't play these games, but I know when a game that like I don't even play is doing something compared to a game that like I am playing or interested in. Like, that's weird. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like Halo, like, I feel like they're like, they think of one thing and they're a one-track mind when they need to be doing a bunch of different things, but they're like, okay, we got to get the game out. So fuck everything else, like tournaments, all that shit, advertisement, all that. We got to get the game out. So they're working on the game, that's it. And they're like, oh shit, a tournament. Yeah, we probably should advertise that and do that. But it's too late now, so we're still working on the game. Like, they just can't do too many things at once. I feel like it's really hurting them.
Yeah, and I mean, this goes back to what the other point we were saying. I mean, Halo Infinite got 3 big orgs back. They got Envy back, Cloud9,
huge.
Sentinels.
These are huge orgs. Back? Like, I feel like now they're getting...
Like Envy, Cloud9, Sentinels. Like, that's... Like, at the end of Halo 5, all of those orgs left. You know,
because
like,
they were done with it. They were through with that.
Yeah.
Like, how long could you sit and just, like, waste, like, your... I want to say, like, your value to a like a brand or, like, an esport. Because, like, that's what they bring. They bring value. Like, an organization brings value, people, hype. Like, they're going to be the ones tweeting, talking about the tournaments, doing everything. And when the game itself isn't doing that, like, it's mind-blowing that these orgs even came back.
Yeah, it really is.
And it's going to be sad if they leave again.
It will make sense. I won't be mad if they leave.
I wouldn't be
Honestly,
mad. I wouldn't be
I don't think anyone
surprised.
would.
I would be like, man,
right.
Saw that one coming a mile away. Like,
and it just sucks because, again, this goes back to the other point we were making. Like, they were probably in contact with 343, and 343 came out and said, we have this esport roadmap ahead. Like, this, we have everything planned out. And I'm sure they showed the orgs, and I think the orgs came out and said, like, this is why we came back, because they have a plan, and it looks like a good plan. Like, they have a roadmap for everything, and, you know, we're excited to come back to Halo, and they were kind of screwed over with this delay, you know? Like, they were ready. They signed players with contracts on, like, Cloud9, Sentinels, and Envy. I saw a whole podcast about, like, the players signing contracts in preparation for Infinite, and now they're kind of left in limbo. Like, what's going to happen? Are they going to drop? Are the orgs going to hold on to those guys? Like what's going to happen, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing. If, like, hypothetically, they're waiting a whole another year, like, what if the contract was only for a year? You know,
yeah,
like, then it runs out before the game comes out. Like, I just feel like this whole thing is just blowing up, and it's unfortunate to see. But that's what's happening, to be honest.
Yeah. It's not a good look for Microsoft, really.
Nah, it's not looking good for Microsoft overall. Right now, between the systems, I mean, it's like you're playing Microsoft if you want to play backwards compatible fun stuff, and if you want to see the future, I feel like you're playing the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Xbox is more of like, hey, let's play old games.
Yeah, let's play old games, dude. Check out how Fusion Frenzy looks on this sick computer. Hey, oh, you want to play something
Fusion
new?
Frenzy
No, come on,
dope.
dude. Let's play Crazy Taxi.
Crazy Taxi.
Like, I don't know, man. I feel like Xbox is cool with, like, taking the back road right now, and, like, they own the PC market, and they're chill. So they got the backwards compatibility in the PC market, and that's it.
I don't think they're necessarily too concerned. They're going to be making money regardless.
Yeah, I feel like PlayStation's just focused and good to go.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, this delay could build up so much hype. Like, what if we get, like, the blog post said, insider flighting later next year. How later? God knows, right? Because the game was supposed to be
I
delayed
don't even know
a
the
little bit.
insider flight even is, besides like the 16 people that are part of it.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay,
So
like,
imagine like we
what
get
does that mean?
a beta tournament, you know, like, and then like all this hype. Like, all I'm saying is like this could be good in the end. I'm just trying to bring some light to this.
I love
Really
that you are
bad.
trying to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I really do.
I mean, I'm just saying like. I mean, like if you just look back at it from like an outsider's perspective, to you it might just be, or to someone else, like, oh, Halo got delayed. Okay, that's it. But like we are kind of dissecting everything that's happening, and none of it really makes sense at all.
It's never
And
made
so,
any sense. Like, over the
yeah,
years and generations of games that have come out, like, they do a bunch of bullshit, nothing makes sense, and then, like, the game comes out, but then everyone's content because the game's out, so no one talks about it. I feel like that's what happens every time.
yeah,
But if someone stepped back and was like, wait a minute, Halo 5 had a totally different thing. Where the hell is the... Where's that poncho around Chief? And what happened to all that
Poncho.
shit? What's going on here, dude? I feel like
That
if
was just
everybody did that, it would be a
insane.
whole different story. But instead, everyone was like, oh my god, Halo's out. Yo, you want to play multiplayer? Nah, man, I'm finishing up the campaign right now. All right, man, like in 10 minutes, can we play multiplayer? I don't know, man. But you've always found a way, and everyone was playing and doing the shit. But,
Hmm.
no one took the second to be like, wait a minute, dude. What's going on here?
Dude.
And how when Halo 5 came out, we had like what, 2 playlists or some bullshit like that, dude?
Yeah, I
Oh my
remember that.
god.
I remember that.
I just pray
But
for Halo Infinite that it has some luck. I mean,
yeah, I think we can all agree this is the last like straw.
oh, this is definitely the last straw
This
for
is
Halo. I
definitely the
mean,
last
this is it.
straw.
I mean, it's make or break.
Yeah. So maybe the delay's good. Like they know that this is the last one. Like you gotta go with the banger or you're gonna die. And maybe that's why I delayed it. But again, like we said, none of it makes sense. None of it will make sense until the game releases. So
Yeah,
maybe we'll never know.
see. Maybe we
Right?
may never know.
We'll never know, Larry. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much all I had.
Yeah.
Obviously, the big topics were Cyberpunk and Halo. Maybe in the near future we can get more insight on Cyberpunk. Maybe when the game is great, maybe we can do like
Yeah,
a
maybe
small
like
review
after
of
like
it
a
or
couple of
something.
weeks of you playing it, we can give like another review on it and see if it gets better over the weeks. Maybe if it drops down to like $30 or something, I'll buy it and I can give you a review. But
Right.
until then, I don't see myself touching another game. Yeah, until something really good comes out. To be honest.
Same. Oh, I did. However, I kind of forgot to plug this in the beginning. You're cool with it, right? I'll cut this part out, but
Yeah, I mean, cut this part out for sure, and then end this podcast.
okay. I'll just start where I am. All right, on the one more note, before we go, I don't know how long we've been going, but on the last note, I was meant to say this at the beginning, but me and a group of guys, friends, we started our own org, SVG, or better known as, I forgot how to say it. Fuck. Stravage. It's such a weird spelling, man. All right, whatever. I'll redo that. All right, on the last note, before we head out, I meant to do this at the beginning of the episode, but I kind of choked because I forgot, so I plug it in here. Me and a group of friends, we started our own org. We're called Stravage, aka SVG. I'm gonna put our link to our Twitter and to our YouTube down in the description. We've kind of been planning how we're gonna do content and all that stuff. So at the moment, we don't have anything. We just kind of got the idea, started the name, started all these social medias, and we're planning on content. So hopefully we'll have content here in the near future. With that being said, Larry,
Yo,
that's it.
that's it, dudes.
That's it.
That it, dude. This is Boom,
And Zoom.
and we'll see you next week. Maybe we're doing a Star Wars episode next week. That's what I'm thinking. What do you guys think?
Ooh,
Everyone
you know
watch The
what?
Mandalorian, and then maybe next week we'll have like a wrap up finale, because the finale is next week. So catch up, everyone. Finale Friday. Watch it, and then we're gonna have a Mandalorian episode or a Star Wars episode. Does that sound chill?
I like Star Wars. I haven't seen The Mandalorian season 2 yet.
You're gonna have to pump out this week, my dude.
I'm gonna have to be on that grind, huh?
Definitely, dude. Yeah, definitely.
All right, well, yeah, that's something people want to see. I'm definitely down to do this. I love Star Wars, so.
I know people want to see this. I know they do.
Okay. All right.
I got a lot to talk about. I can't wait for you to see it because we'll have a ton to talk about because you'll be watching it fresh. I'll be so excited. So, next week's the one.
Next week. Adios, y'all.
Peace.